Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that because you're on the other side of the screen. I can see it though. It's the end of this 250X project. This is it. Today we are going plastic. We're gonna fix the fender cracks using a plastic welder. My first time with that one, never done it. Hope it goes well. Gonna trim the front fenders just to give it a little bit of a better profile to the rear fender, and gonna use those cut pieces as plastic filler. Then going to get rid of the old decals. I'm sure they're going to be a pain in the ass to scrape off. Then we are going to, I'm trying to think of it all, wet sand. Get a lot of the wear and tear off these plastics, starting with 400, working our way to 600, 1000, then 1500 using water and soap. Then we'll do some sort of a polishing, buffing, or a, I don't know, using the heat gun, kind of bring back a little bit of shine, especially in the red. The grayish, we can kind of get away with. Then we're gonna get new decals on, new seat cover. That's gonna really start freshening up the bike. Gonna finish it up with creating new front fender mounts, because this whole wire loom twisted custom modification, it's just not gonna work for me. I want something that's more secure and just a better bracing. So enough chit chat. Welcome back. Glad to see you. Please subscribe and let's get to work. So here we go. I'm going to slide the staple into the tip. One prong in each hole. It holds it. Then we squeeze the trigger. Let it sink in. Let go of the trigger, let it cool a second. Slide off. Wow, that is pretty damn cool. Squiggle to it. All right, now I got the right front fender. You can see this one has another really big crack in it. And it has a Frankenstein repair on the underside. It's like a little thin piece of aluminum or coated steel. Not 100% sure, but it's riveted in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat staple the rest of the crack before I attempt to drill any of these out and cause more stress to it. Now to figure out how much I'm going to trim off the front fender to match the same profile as the rear fender, I'm just going to take a level, slide it up underneath the rear fender, put the bubble in the middle, Remember, we're not shooting for perfection, but to the naked eye, it'll look pretty dang good. And that's about how much we're going to trim off. That little mark right there. And we'll just match it so it all looks flowing. Look at that, man. Original right there. That, man, I don't think we're gonna wet sand it and buff it that smooth, but oh man, that would be sharp. So now we're all done with our sticker removal porn. I'm all set up outside to start wet sanding. We got our water with, I throw a little bit of car soap in there. That's Superior Cherry Bomb. Smells like cherries, good stuff. The little stuff we're gonna be doing, I cut up a bunch of pieces of the sandpaper so I don't have to worry about dealing with it with wet hands. And a Kool-Aid Jammer Strawberry Kiwi. Okie dokie, let's start making it pretty. Okay, got the wet sanding all done, finally. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a little bit more than one day to do all that. Just working through the grits. On the one front fender, I did have to kind of work a little bit lower. I went down to a little bit of a 180, then 220 and worked my way up. I had to keep telling myself, this is a quad. It's gonna be in the woods. I'm not gonna be parking this next to another car in a show. It's just, we want it to look clean, but it's still going to be ripping through the trails. The grays did come out really good. I'm really happy how clean they came out. Again, they just look clean. The rear, same thing. Came out really good. But now we got to get a little bit of shine back into it. Here's the red. You see the white a little bit closer. You see how it kind of, you know, I mean, it's smooth. It's smooth. We still have some gouges on it, but that's okay. I put some gloves on. Preferably clean, but just something to protect my skin from the heat. And you'll see, I'm gonna crank it on high, let it get a little hot for a minute, and we're just gonna start working it. You can see with the heat, it laid flat. Right, but it will come back. Okay, just be careful with it because it's still warm. It's still a little soft and more flexible. Some of that shine did come back after all that sanding. Not sponsored, but would love to be. Pay me, great. But I love the Supreme Shine. It's great on interiors on cars. It's cheap. You can get it almost everywhere. So this will also help cool it down. Just kind of work that in a little bit. Doesn't get greasy. Gives it that shine. And there you have it. So I know it's tough to kind of show you in the camera, but I mean, I know you can tell it looks shinier. It looks like it's brought back to life. It's not perfect. It's not brand new. It didn't just come out of a mold. Now, you still see the no fear, but I think it looks pretty damn good. So that's the process I'm going to do on all the pieces. Plastics are all done. I got the front ones on the bike. In order to get the rear ones done, then I could show you, I gotta do the seat cover. I'm just going over top of the old seat cover because the foam is in good condition. I'm a little afraid if I go to pull this off, if it's gonna tear a chunk out of it, and then I gotta deal with that. So just gonna throw this on over top, and it'll give it a little extra waterproof protection for the foam. And you won't even know the difference because the seat cover is going to fit. So only me and you will know. Shh. Well guys, that's it. Plastics are complete. They're on the bike. Seat cover's done. Everything came out better than I expected. The decals look beautiful. The bike looks on point. From starting this project, really wasn't concerned about how it looked. But now I know this bike is safe. It stops, it goes, and it looks good doing it. I really appreciate you watching. The famous like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you on the next one. Did you really think I wasn't going to show you? Come on.